for most of its history, the tradition of the New Yorker, it's a writer's magazine, and people for a long while have chosen their own stories. It's less that way now. There's more hands-on editorial guidance and planning. We do an annual food issue. It's edited by the same person, and the ideas for these stories come from everywhere on the staff. Those issues are really pretty eclectic because I think they're still reportorial. That's really the essence of the magazine as I think of it. And so, yes, it's about food, but it's really about a writer's curiosity and quest to just tell a story. I'm really not an absolutely silent, but mostly silent observer. I think most people who do this kind of work, and I raise my hand, it's a sublimated voyeurism, really. And so just like an anthropologist, you kind of want to disappear, and you know that you're succeeding when nobody notices that you're there, and the fly on the wall. John McPhee, the great, John McPhee, probably the best nonfiction writer in the English language, according to some of us, who's written close to 30 books on totally eclectic subjects. Some of those are collections. He did a piece back in the late 70s, early 80s about a pseudonymous restaurant couple, actually, Otto and Ann, but it was mostly Otto, and he described Otto as having, the best restaurant in the world.
Where was it?
It wasn't identified. He never told you where it was, and he didn't tell you Otto's real name. He spent a great deal of time doing. The sort of process that I'm describing is what McPhee is the absolute master of. But it drove people in New York insane that there was, food writers insane, that there was a restaurant within a 2-hour radius of New York City that could be the best in the world that they could not find their way to. That sort of kind of writing was the result of the fact that the New Yorker was once extremely profitable up through the 70s. It turned away advertising. But if you're going to do that kind of writing today, you better be writing a book. It's not necessarily it might be excerpted in a place like the New Yorker or some other online publication that will publish long-form journalism. The world today is, especially for young people who want to go into this, I tell them always, it's easier than ever to get published, plainly. It's harder than ever to get paid.